Hey folks, welcome back. This is part 3 of the Luthier's Lair series detailing the dumpster dive base build, where I've assembled a bunch of waif, stray and vagabond parts for refurbishment to turn into a bass guitar. Outwards, inwards, into a bass guitar. Yeah. So what we're going to do this part, well, I was thinking about doing some more stuff with the neck, just to show you how I'm going to design the headstock and get those tuning peg holder holes in the headstock, and we'll see what we can come up with. Should be a lot of fun. Of course, more prep work on the body, including sanding, sealing and stuff like that, and then maybe part 4 will do the grain filling and stuff. So yeah, let's go and get on with it and see what we can make. Franken bass touche turtle. Okie dokie folks, yeah, so the fill had dried and set and I sanded it down, and really strangely, and this never happened to me before, there was an air bubble inside this. Now I believe it's because there's a drill hole right the way through to the cavity here for where this grounding wire should have went. I've changed the scale of this bass, so I think there might have been some backfeed of air here that went there and created the bubble, but don't worry, Glue Boost is your friend. Glue Boost, you can look this up online. This compounded Glue Boost is a fill and finish formula, and it's great for dings, chips. If somebody brings their guitar in to me for repairs, finish repairs, and there are small dings in it, I will invariably go to Glue Boost because it sets well and it's fileable, it's sandable, and it's polishable as well. It polishes up really good. So in the air bubble there, I've just put a spot of glue. A blue. My God, I need to get new teeth. Yes, Glue Boost. So I'll be doing that. I have to get some more. I'm nearly out of this stuff. It's fantastic for repairs like that. And you know, even like on a poly finish, if you got a chip in there and you can colour match, you put Glue Boost over it and you sand it down and polish it up. It's you never know it was there. You'd never know. But with this one, you know, I'm trying to prep the surface for paint. So before I do any sealing of the wood, sanding, seal, then grain fill, I want to get all these dings out, and this was the major ding here, was the drill hole and dig out for this ground wire that is no longer going to be in that location. It's going to be somewhere back here because I'm changing the scale of this body. So yeah, now we're going to just check to see if this is setting up. Let's see, it's still wet. I'm going to try and get air bubbles out of it by doing that. And yeah, we're going to be good. That's going to take maybe an hour or 2 to set, and then we'll be ready to sand that down. Everything will be flat and level. This is already sanded to 320 grit, and it will be ready to prep for paint. Cool. So this now has been filled and sealed absolutely flat level with the rest of the body, so it's good to go for a bit of sand and sealer here. Crystal lac, as I explained earlier, crystal lac water-based sanding sealer. You just get this on. You don't need to be too careful with it. You get a foam brush, dip it in there, and just liberally spread that on there. You can be quite liberal with it. Going with the grain's preferable, I guess, but it's not necessary. I always just do it force of habit. Sometimes I will scour it around a little bit. The good thing about this, of course, is it's water based and I can clean up this foam brush and use it again, which is a good thing about a water-based product. Let's get some in there. There we go. And we'll just go around these edges as well. And of course, when this is dry and sanded, I'll do the other side in a similar fashion. These bits in here are always sealed. This with the horn with the cutouts. Good to go over that a couple of times. Really, different grain pattern at the end there, so just make sure it's kind of slathered on there, and around the edges too. And the tip of the horn there. Spread that on. So that's good. I leave this for about an hour. Just even it out a bit, and then I will scuff sand this with 320 once again to bring it level, and that'll be that sealed. Then I'll do the rear side, and then we'll go into grain filler. Okay, simple as that, really. Okay, well, we're waiting for the sanding sealer to dry up. It's back to the headstock here, and a little string alignment arrangement here on the headstock, and I'm going to have 2 right, 2 left tuning heads on this, Schaller style tuning heads. These are actually Geikers, old set of Geikers I had lying around. So what I did was I took the outside of this string and marked where I want the E peg, the right hand side outside of the A string here for where I want the A peg, and then for this, the D string here, obviously the other side, the outside, and drew a line near the string, and for the G I drew a line near the string on the outside of the string. Why? Because that's the way the strings are going to wrap around, and from that I can calculate where I'm going to put the holes. I took the diameter of the barrel here and halved it, and then measured out from the line that dimension, which is 0.27 of an inch. Okay, I made a centre point. Now I know this is narrower, the actual peg itself is narrower than the barrel, but I want the strings to slightly break, sort of fan out slightly to go to the tuners. That gives it a much better, I just get a better sound with that sort of break angle. I've found a better string resonance, I should say. However, that's my experience, and that's what happens. So I've marked all these centre points there, and now I just need to, I can take this off and start thinking about the shape that the headstock's going to be and what the design is going to be, because like I say, I got this neck a long time ago, and it was blank headstock, so cut it to what you like, really. The only slight difficulty in cutting the headstock is it's an angled headstock with a scarf joint in the back, but you can run that through the bandsaw pretty quick if I make up a template. So since the base is Ibanez, the body is kind of Ibanez shaped, I might take a look at some of the Ibanez headstocks for the two right, two left designs, and see if I can modify that to come up with something a bit more unique. So, cool. Let's go and have a look at that, see what I can come up with. So, after looking at a few Ibanez base headstocks, I've decided to go with kind of the reverse of what Ibanez do. I've got the E, A, D, G, whereas Ibanez usually have the E, A, D, G, like that, you know, so I've juxtaposed those. They usually have the high point of the headstock on the E side. I've got the low point of the headstock on the E side. And what I've done is I have marked straight lines, I don't know if you can see this, straight lines here, here, and here, and I'm going to cut it square because I'll use my table sander to sand in some nice smooth curves and transitions in this. I'd rather cut this probably with the bandsaw, you know, proud, so that I have some material to work with to get some nice flowing headstocky goodness going on there, you know. So that's what I'll do probably, and of course I've translated that to the back to make cutting on the bandsaw a bit easier, you know. First cut should be okay because it's not like it's a straight piece of wood. I'm going to have to hold, oops, I'm going to have to hold the wood like so when I'm pushing it through the bandsaw. So it's a little tricky, but you know, nice and slow, and we should be able to do it. So let's go do that. I'm not too concerned about not drilling the tuning peg holes right now. I don't know if I have a drill bit that's the right size for this. I do have a 1/2 inch drill bit, but that's not big enough. I need to use a reamer to dig out the rest. But let's go and do that. So here's what we've got so far. It's been on the bandsaw, and I just roughly cut out the shape it's going to be, and I'll sand in the curves later. I drilled pilot holes in where I want the tuning pegs to be. Now it turns out I do have the exact drill bit for these the small sized Schaller style tuning pegs. It's 0.55 of an inch, and of course the tuning pegs are 0.54, so that's good enough. The problem is, if I'm going to drill it like that, I'm going in at an angle there because there's an angle, a break angle on the headstock. The best thing to do in this case is, and that's why this scrap piece of ply is here, that's going to get clamped to the bench. I'm going to turn the neck around there, and I'm going to bring this across here. I'm going to put a clamp there, and I will put supports up this side of the neck so that the headstock is flat, and then it's very easy for me to drill perpendicular to the headstock holes, you know, straight down holes. Don't even need to use a drill press. I've done this so many times. I'm fairly good at it now, but if you're not, then you should take the whole jig and clamp it to a drill press and use the drill press to do it. What I've done is I've just taken the bit and put a scoop out in the pilot holes so the drill will locate correctly. I might even drill bigger pilot holes in this. Not decided that yet, but that's the way it will work. And of course, using a piece of scrap wood on the bottom, you're not going to get breakout on the front of the headstock. You should not get breakout on the front of the headstock, you know, chips of wood flying around that you have to fill later and then have to paint the headstock. I don't really want to paint the headstock. I want it to be natural maple, so that's what we're going to do next. Well, actually, my sanding seal is nearly dried on the body, first coat, so I'm going to scuff sand that first and see what we've got. Okay, cool. Well, that's that drilled. I'll put this away. By the way, I coated the other side of the base with sanding sealer. This is all supported. Let's take this away now. Clamp off here. See how it's still supported flat. Check this out, see if we've got any tear out. No, look at that. It's perfect. Beautiful. That worked out great. Now, the proof of the pudding, of course, is in the eating. So, let me take out one of my old Geiger tuning heads here and see if it actually fits. I haven't tried this yet, so who knows, we might all get a laugh if I've screwed up. Yeah, let's hope not. Perfect. It's perfect. Indeed. Absolutely bang on. Let's check out the other hole here. Going through flat. Yeah. Yeah. We're perfect. We're good there. So that's the headstock done, apart from just shaping it now, which we'll use the oscillating table sander for, with various drums to get the shape we want. I think actually the belt I have is an apexed belt, and it gives me several angles. I think that will suffice. Excuse me. But yeah, there you go. Ready to be shaped. Nice. So I had the oscillating table sander to the headstock. Now you can see it has a nice sweep about it, some nice curves in there, rounded at the top slightly, and all I need to do now is get that shaped in properly by hand using 320 grit sandpaper. Make sure all the lumps and bumps are out of there, get it all sanded down, and we're done with the neck really at this point. It'll be set aside and I'll concentrate on finishing the body up. So yeah, it's looking quite awesome right now, right? Indeedy, indeedy do. Not bad for dumpster diving, right? So a quick test fit of the tuning machines here on the dumpster base, and nice. I really kind of like this layout. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but I kind of do, because it's asymmetrical. It gives a bit more flair and character to the headstock. I do like this. I'm pretty sure I like it. This needs sanded a bit more because there are wriggles in it, but you know, needs as must. Please test fit first, and if you're happy, then you can go on and fine tune things. Nice room here for a little maybe decal. I'm not sure about that. I don't know about that. Maybe. Of course, truss rod cover will probably fit in there, no problem. I did size it up. I just quickly check that just to make sure. And I'll go up to where I don't have the nut, but the nut stops about here, so yeah, that's how it's going to look there. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Looks nice, sleek. It's lightweight as well, because the body is light, and I may still have to put some weights in the body depending on how much of a neck diver it is, but before final paint I will be assembling it just to gauge its weight and see what I need to do with that. So onwards and upwards, my friends. Yes. That's it for part 3. Wow, this series is going really fast, isn't it? Yes. And I'm kind of going to be uploading all these parts within a weekend, so there'll be plenty of stuff for you to watch. In part 4, we're going to be doing some grain filling, and I have a couple of options there that I want to consider before doing so, but you'll see what happens in part 4. So if you're enjoying the series so far and haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so. It helps me out a lot. Give me a thumbs up and ring that bell for notifications of when I do any further uploads in the future. Until then, as usual, stay safe, be good, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers, folks. Bye bye.